a good witch or a bad witch?
Who, me? I'm not a witch at all.
I'm a bad bitch, fuck the bitch. Bitch get slick, I'ma cut the bitch.
Hi guys, so back for another VR, or two VRs that I'm going to combine together. So I'm going to do these two VRs for the Sunshine Witch, Brittany, and Teia Kelly, I believe is her name. And Brittany did a video, and I can't seem to find it, about freeing witchcraft from the grips of Hollywood. And Teia video on witchcraft and social media practice paralysis, I believe the title is. I'll have to go back and look. I could be getting it wrong, but in any event, to me, Hollywood and social media are kind of intertwined. So this is why I'm going to just combine the two responses. But am I honest with people about whether or not I'm a practitioner? Well, yes and no. People that don't know me very well, yeah, I'm pretty honest about it. But there's a lot of people that are really close to me that don't know that I practice. I'm in the broom closet because because I want to respect them, and because they are judgmental and feel that they have to force their beliefs on me. I have learned, being single and dating, or trying to date, which I'm just not even going to attempt anymore, because a lot of times when you are on, you tell someone that you're a practitioner, they tend to run for the hills, or just ghost you out and ignore you entirely because they can't hack it. Or yeah, it's not a problem until they find out what else. Because let's face it, society is a really big problem when it comes to the religious practice that you have. Some religions are more acceptable in society and some are not. No, you cannot wear your magic proudly, wear your pentacles, but yet other people of other religions can wear theirs proudly and there's no problems. I do see where Brittany was talking about people reenacting from Harry Potter, where they were playing Quidditch, I believe it is. My kids are adults, so I don't remember how. Quidditch, maybe? And talking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Does anyone judge Comic-Con people when they dress up in costumes and go to their conventions? Probably not. What about Star Trek conventions? No, probably not. But here, right back to the whole Hollywood thing. Well, let's face it, Hollywood does things for a lot of drama because it's not really what witchcraft is. Witchcraft is not dramatic enough in order to attract that type of attention. It's not dramatic enough to talk about how it takes you 3 weeks to make an oil. It's not dramatic enough to talk about crystal grids or candles or a lot of the things that we put a lot of time and energy into our practice. It's not dramatic enough for them to be researching a particular spell or researching a particular herb, and it takes time. It's not dramatic. Hollywood tends to make things dramatic in order to get people's attention. And unfortunately, that has had its drawbacks because nowadays people are thinking that it's a trend. And okay, I can kind of see that, but why are you entering the practice? Are you some kid in high school that thinks, oh, if I just do some spells and dress in black, I'm this witch that I've seen in Hollywood? Well, then maybe people will stop bullying me or leave me alone. Well, if anyone's been any good judge of character or paid real close attention in the movies, consider the bullies always end up getting theirs in the end. Karma gets them. But we also have to look at mainstream media. Mainstream media, in my opinion, lost a lot of journalistic integrity. They do what sells and what gets them views. Do you ever see them doing any positive stories about witchcraft? Anything positive that the witchy community has done? You don't. But you see all this negative stuff about cults, and I'm not saying that they don't exist, because if you've watched any of my videos, you know that we've had experience with cults and what we did to help the kids out. But they tend to want to vilify or all forms of witchcraft, pigeonhole all forms of witchcraft, and make it into this horrible that it's actually not. They don't want to say, well, some people with some practices do it this way, and some people with some practices do it that way. They want to basically throw the baby out with the bathwater. I've seen that some in the paranormal community too, with certain people. They only talk about this being this or this herb being used for that, when that's not the case. And then of course you have these that are terrified of witchcraft. Well, then they have to go and they have to vilify witchcraft. And back to the dating thing. I really am honestly of the opinion that men do not mess around with witches because of this whole thing about being able to cause impotence. Well, okay. But the whole thing is that men have an issue with the fact that a practitioner is a woman that is empowered or working on her self-worth or her self-empowerment, and that's not something that men can handle all that well. Which, again, brings us right back to media and right back to societies that cannot handle it when women or the weaker groups are empowered and are strong and are healing and are taking care of business, because then there's nobody for them to pick on. As far as social media or the practice paralysis, if I'm looking at videos for YouTube or TikTok or anything like that, that's so I can learn. That's so I can put that in my book of shadows or make that particular spell my own. And if that's what you're doing, then I hate to see how can't see how that's not a part of this. Yes, it does take us hours to get things accomplished, and you only see a snippet of our spell work. You don't see the messy bookshelf, which goes right back to the witchy aesthetic I did previously. But if there's a messy bookshelf behind you, I can guarantee there's going to be about 30 people that judge you for that messy bookshelf, or that messy altar, or that messy this. So, yeah, in a way, because you don't want to be judged, you might spend more time working on a video than you would practicing. And let's face it, with things being what they are nowadays, it is very difficult with all the emotion, everything going on, and it's affected a lot of practitioners, and not a lot of practitioners are in a position where they can practice, either because of living situations or funds or stress or whatever they're having to deal with nowadays, because it is really starting to affect us, especially now where more people are turning to witchcraft and witchcraft is becoming more prevalent. Yes, a lot of places are selling witchy items than before. Yes, I have to agree that, you know, if it's more prevalent, it's more accepted. But a lot of us are just really focused on day-to-day life. And to sit and scroll through TikTok for 2 hours for us is an escape. It's a means for us to just chill out and learn something and our book for later, for when we do have the money or when we're not under a bunch of stress. So to me, I have to agree, we need to spend more time practicing, which is kind of why I'm really the Crimson Fire for doing the whole Spelltember series, because there are so many people that have just been in witchy ruts and been uninspired because of all of this mundane BS of struggling, negativity, that this is something that a lot of us needed in order to kind of give us that boost, so that we can get back to what we were doing before. We get inspired by watching each other. We get inspired by bits and pieces of our spell work in order, again, as a template to inspire someone else, and sorry about the fire truck, to inspire someone else to get up and do something. I mean, I have seen so much concerning witchcraft and practicing within the last 2 months than I've seen in a long time, and I personally think that's a great thing. But the other thing is that a lot of people are still in the closet. There are a lot of people that are afraid to come out and be public because of the fact that, oh, if I come out and I show this, well, here's going to come Karen Gatekeeper or Ken Know-It-All, and they're judge them. I think that one thing that we as a community need to deal with is we need to get rid of the Karens and the Kens. And people need to stop judging and start respecting. And let people do their thing. There's things that people do that I don't agree with, but you know what? I don't have to watch it. I can go to another channel. It's just that simple. So, you know, spend judging, and maybe it isn't so much watching YouTube videos. Maybe a lot of people are spending more time judging others for their practice or for their craft, or attacking others for their practice and their craft. So that's, to me, is one reason why we have a lot of cannot talk tonight, paralysis in our practice because of judgment. And yeah, I happen to agree that there's a lot of things that need to stop within the community. The attacking, the negativity, it needs to stop. If you don't like how I practice or how any other witch in this community practices, then get your butt off of YouTube. Leave other people alone. If you spent more time looking in your own cauldron, as Lady Witch had said, and more time focusing on yourself than you did what other people are doing, you'd be a much better person. And I think that's the other reason, as I keep saying, that's the other reason why a lot of people are afraid to practice. Because here you have all these new beginners coming in, and they see all this drama, this judgment, and it's not helping them out one bit. There's those of us who are willing to learn and willing to help others that are newcomers. And until some things in the community stop, then it's just going to be possible. So, now that I've ranted and raved enough, I think I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, since I just want to get caught up on all my VRs and a lot of my videos and keep up on my spell timber stuff. So, I think I have one more VR to do that I was asked to do a long time ago, and I'm going to get that one done, and that's going to be all you guys are going to hear from me tonight. So, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Blessed be. Peace, love, and light. Bye, guys.
You're not a witch. Sure I am. Witches aren't real, aren't they? Well, if you're a witch, do a spell. Fine. Well, aren't you gonna do it? I just did. Well, nothing happened. Wait.
Witches like to drink our tea and mix our herbs intentionally. Light a candle, say a spell, and consult